Living in a mansion is everyone's dream. I mean, who doesn't want to live in one? Unfortunately, majority of us won't get a chance to live in one because they're too damn expensive, unless you know where to look. Fact Feed presents famous mansions no one wants to buy for any price. Number 5. 1875 Victorian Mansion. In today's world of boxy McMansions and cookie-cutter prefab homes, it can be hard to find a house with character. That's why I instantly fell in love when I saw this exquisite Victorian home. With its large bay windows, mansard roof, and gingerbread trim, it has all the makings of a living dollhouse. But when I saw how much it's listed for, I was stunned. Why on earth would a 10-bedroom, 6,661 square foot home built in 1875 be so cheap? In 1875, a wealthy chair manufacturer named Sylvester K. Pierce designed and built a magnificent Victorian home. This beautiful Massachusetts home boasts 10 beds, 2.5 baths, 11-foot ceilings, marble fireplaces, and all original windows, doorknobs, hinges, and floors. So with all of those exquisite details, how could the owners possibly ask for just $329,000? That's roughly the same price of an average 3-bedroom home. As it turns out, this beautiful mansion is listed as one of the most haunted homes in all of New England. Over the years, in the hands of many different owners, 8 individual deaths have been documented in the house. The house experiences so much paranormal activity, it's been investigated by TV shows like Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, My Ghost Story, and 10 Most Haunted Places in New England. So, who is still roaming the halls of this gorgeous mansion? Some say they've seen the figure of a busy servant girl. Others, a little boy who stares longingly out in the front window. To some, a sad woman has appeared. Considering its hair-raising past, would you live in this Victorian mansion? I thought I knew my answer, but now I'm not so sure. Number 4. Historic Montclair House. Historic homes designed by famous architects typically fetch a killing on the market, particularly if they're in affluent neighborhoods. This is all the more reason why one such house in Montclair, New Jersey, designed by Dudley S. Van Antwerp, has everyone talking due to its bargain basement price, $10. You heard me right, $10 whole dollars. So what's the catch? There has to be one, right? It turns out, you can't just toss a tenner and move in. First, you'll have to lift this 3,912 square foot mansion off its foundation and move it into an entirely new location. This might have you wondering, how do you move a whole house? Moving a house might sound like a Herculean feat, but it's actually more common than you might guess. Landmark buildings and churches are sometimes moved for a number of reasons, typically because the land under them is being developed. Yet, the structure's historic significance means it's worth salvaging rather than razing it to the ground. Assuming we have a clear move route, the cost to move this house would be between $75,000 and $100,000, says Ben Bravant, an estimator with Wolfhouse and Building Movers. And the expenses don't end there. All of this is a long way of saying that this $10 house might seem like a bargain, especially considering the house's estimated value, minus the value of the land. It is a little over $435,000 to get the true cost. You'll have to factor in the move. Still though, it would really be a shame to see such a beautiful house demolished. If you have the land and the budget, why not weigh the pros and cons of saving this house from its flattened fate? Number 3. SCARFACE Mansion. The real-life estate that played the role of a lifetime as Tony Montana's mansion in the 1983 movie Scarface hit the market last year asking $35 million. And it was reportedly still asking as of 2 months ago. The neoclassical Santa Barbara, though the movie was set in Miami, El Fueridis, Little Paradise, mansion has no luck in finding a buyer. However, and as Lighter Side of Real Estate points out, the listing just reappeared with a significantly reduced asking price down to $12.5 million. Apparently the owner, Russian billionaire Sergei Grishin, has lost faith in the property's cultural cash as a selling point. The listing doesn't even mention the movie anymore. Number 2. The Watcher House. What do you look for in a family home? A quiet neighborhood? A good school district? His and her sinks? If your answer was 6 bedrooms, a 2-car garage, and a psychopath stalker, then you're in luck. The famous Watcher House in Westfield, New Jersey is back on the market. For those of you with an unfamiliar history of the story, or have blocked it from your mind because you enjoy being able to sleep at night, allow me to fill you in. In 2014, the Broaddus family, Derek, Maria, and their 3 children, purchased an expansive home at 657 Boulevard for $1.35 million. 3 days after closing, they allegedly received a hair-raising letter from someone who identified themselves as the Watcher. The house has been the subject of my family for decades, the Watcher explains. I have been put in charge of watching and waiting for its second coming. My grandfather watched in the 1920s and my father watched in the 1960s. Now it's my time. If you're thinking this is a friendly groundskeeper type of relationship, it's not. The letter goes on to say, "Do you need to fill the house with the young blood I requested? Have you not found the secrets it holds? Will the young bloods play in the basement? Who has the bedrooms facing the street? I will know as soon as you move in." It gets worse. The letters allegedly said that the home's former owners, John and Andrea, sold the house to the Broadduses at the Watcher's request. "Have they found out what's in the walls yet?" the Watcher asked. "I am pleased to know your names now, and the name of the young blood that you have brought to me." The Broaddus family, understandably spooked, listed the home for sale before they even moved in. And a year later, they sued the Woodses for allegedly failing to mention their house was being watched by a bloodthirsty stalker. In March, the Broaddus family filed a lawsuit against the town of Westfield, asking that it allow them to demolish the home and build 2 new houses on the plot instead, because they claimed that they could not sell the property due to all of the press surrounding the Watcher. Number 1. The SCHWEPPE Mansion. One of the Lake Forest, Illinois most prestigious homes is still looking for a buyer after sitting on the market for several years with many price reductions. The massive 25,000 square foot manor, known as Mayflower Place, was previously listed as much as $18 million in 2007, and closer to $10 million in more recent years. It's just been reduced to $8,950,000. It was designed by architect Frederick Wainwright Perkins in 1917 for former Marshall Field chairman John G. Shedd as a wedding gift for his daughter Laura Shedd. According to Forbes, Laura and husband Charles SCHWEPPE hosted King Edward, the Duke of Windsor, and many American industrial tycoons such as the McCormicks and Armours. Laura died of a heart attack in 1937, leaving the estate behind to husband Charles, who commits suicide in 1941. The property remained empty for more than 4 decades before selling in the 1980s. Between 1987 and 1988, the home was restored by 70 craftsmen and European artists and stonecrafters. Today, the architecturally significant residence offers 25,000 square feet with 28 rooms, 12 bedrooms, 11 full and 4 half bathrooms, marble fireplaces, intricate limestone moldings, and plaster relief ceilings. Enjoy over 5 acres of manicured grounds with extensive gardens, as well as 440 feet of lake frontage on Lake Michigan. All this about 43 minutes from downtown Chicago.